Hey, how's it going everyone? This is William here. In today's video, I want to try something a little bit new because a lot of you have been asking me to cover a little bit more about news and also about announcements. And I'm trying to find a good balance here because, I don't really want to cover gear that I don't know where it's actually manufactured. But I think it's fair that I do cover a little bit of the announcements and I can give you my opinions on that. So this is kind of an attempt to actually try that without going a little bit overboard on one side or the other. So let's go ahead and get into some of the news bits. So a lot of Fuji fans out there knows that Fujifilms will be coming out with two new mid-range bodies, and apparently one of them from Fuji Rumors is going to be the X-S10, which is a camera body that I don't really know much about. It looks like a DSLR style camera body, which is something that a lot of people do enjoy using, but I'm not sure if Fujifilm fans really like that type of body style. Personally, for myself, I do like this type of camera body style because the grip is usually a little bit deeper, which means it's a lot easier to carry single-handedly. From what Fuji Rumor says, it looks like it is going to have in-body stabilization, but it's going to be a mid-range camera. So it'll be interesting to see how many of the features from the X-T4 actually carries over to this camera body. I'm thinking it's probably going to be similar to what an X-T40 is, just in a different type of camera body style. But definitely let me know what you think about this camera body and what you think it's going to have and what you actually want in it. Now, moving on to other camera announcements, it looks like Canon is announcing a cinema camera, which is going to be the C70. This is a very interesting cinema camera because it really does look like a DSLR camera, but it's definitely made for videographers. One of the things that's very interesting about this is that as you read through the text, they're trying to make it so that it's actually in between the EOS R5 and a C300 Mark III, which is a definite professional video camera. When you look through this chart right here, the thing that pops out to me is definitely the dynamic range, 16 plus stops, which you don't really know if you're actually going to get all of those stops and whether or not it's going to be usable, but still, that is a marked improvement, and it'll be very interesting to see what you can get out of this camera with that many stops of dynamic range available to you. But a lot of people are probably going to concentrate on this being an APS-C size sensor rather than a full frame sensor of the R5, but you're probably not going to have the overheating issues of the R5, which to me is an absolute requirement when you're actually using it as a video camera. You don't want your equipment overheating, otherwise you're going to need to have 2 or 3 backups in order to sustain what you want to do, which is going to be very annoying. So the reason why I find this very interesting is that this is a definite departure to what Canon has been normally doing. I really do think that they're repositioning themselves and really trying to figure out what cameras they need in order to fill all these market segments, and they're kind of consolidating, making sure that everybody has the right choices. And overall, I think the camera prices for the specs that you're getting from Canon now is gradually moving down. So really professional specs for a much lower price point. So this is definitely a great move. It seems like they're going to be combating Sony in terms of spec. It'll be very interesting to see what people think of the C70 and whether or not it's going to be a big hit. Personally, for myself, if I were to go the Canon route, I would probably personally choose to get 2 Canon R6s rather than just one Canon C70 because it's a little bit more flexible. But if you're just interested in professional video, then the C70 or maybe possibly a used C200 would definitely be on the top of your list for things that you might want to get. The last camera announcement that I do want to talk about, and this has been talked about for a while now, which is an upgrade to the Z6 and the Z7. I've personally used both of those cameras and I really do like both of those cameras. So getting an incremental upgrade to the Z6 or the Z7 would be terrific, especially if they can knock out some of the things like having 2 card slots, which is what a lot of people are asking for and really the only thing that it's really missing. I would like it to have a selfie screen like all of the new cameras coming out for this generation because that would just line up with what everybody's doing currently, and I think everybody's just going to get used to having selfie screens or the fully articulating screen outside. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Nikon's going to do in order to compete in this market segment. But like what I said before, I don't think Nikon's doing badly in terms of technology. What they're really missing is really good ambassadors to get young people excited about their camera systems. They really need a content creator like a Peter McKinnon on their side, really getting excited using the Nikon equipment, making content with Nikon equipment so that they can get new blood into their community base, get them really excited and really start generating new growth. That's something that I haven't really seen from Nikon. It's something that they really need to work on. Now, before wrapping up this video, I do want to say something very quickly, which has become very important to the channel, which is I really do hope that all of this equipment is made in a country like Japan, which basically holds the same value system that I have, which is life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, basically a democratic country, because I don't want my money going to an authoritarian regime. That's just my personal philosophy on this. I think it has become more important as we move into 2021. So this is something that you should think about, but that's all I have to say on that subject. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great weekend. I hope you're healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.